Hello, Lauren Doyle here of Semantic Mastery, and I'm here once again with our brilliant SEO master, Bradley Benner. Hey, Bradley.
Hi, how are you?
I'm a little squeaky, obviously, today, but we've got a lot to talk to about today, especially something that's very close to your heart. We've already covered social signals and domain authority. But today I know this is your first love, which is local SEO. So
Right.
tell me, um, how does local SEO differ from national or even international SEO?
Well, local SEO obviously is optimizing for searches with local intent, and that's really the biggest difference. Is generally somebody searching for, a local intent type search is a search where somebody is looking for a local type business. For example, Chinese takeout food. Somebody looking for that, they're looking for a local restaurant, a local Chinese restaurant. Another one might be a plumbing contractor. Okay, so and a lot of people will actually search with, and we've been trained to do this over the years, but that's to search with the geographic modifier or the city name in the search. So, for example, take Chinese takeout Washington D.C. or plumbing contractor Atlanta, Georgia, or Atlanta, GA, or whatever. But what's interesting enough is that we really don't need to do that anymore because Google has gotten really, really good at determining where you are based on your your IP address, where your IP is located, or in the case of mobile devices, where you're physically located because of the tracking of your phone. And Android phones, obviously, they know where you are all the time. So they'll deliver results even based on a more broad keyword, such as just, Chinese food. So it's not necessary to always put the local geographic modifier in there, but we still do for the most part. But as far as that, I mean, that's really the difference between local SEO and international or national SEO is just really the intent of the search.
Interesting. So, what are some things you can do with local SEO that you can't do or won't work in national SEO? I mean, I know you say that now it's kind of changing a little bit, but what are some things that you can do that works locally that may not necessarily work with the bigger searches?
Well, um, there's a few things about local search engine optimization that are interesting or different, okay, than national. And one would be just the search engine results page in itself. Okay, when you look at a SERP, a search engine results page, depending on the search term, there are different areas to the page or different sections to the page. There's generally three main areas to the SERP page, okay, but there are sometimes depending on the search term itself, there may be additional areas. And those three main areas are the ads section, otherwise known as AdWords. Okay, so that's the Google pay-per-click. We're talking about the Google search engine page because that's really where two-thirds of all traffic comes from anyways. Then there's
Right.
the organic section, which is your standard text-based listings, and then there's the map section. And we all know what that looks like. Those are the pins that show up that generally in a 7-pack with the pins with lettered pins, lettered A through G. Okay. So typically, those are the three main areas that show up. Occasionally, when you're doing a search term, particularly like with if you're searching for restaurants, you'll notice that there's also the carousel that comes up across the very top of the screen, and they'll have like the Zagat rating,
Yes.
that kind of stuff. But for the most part, for most local searches, you're going to see the ads, then 1 to 3 organic listings, then the maps listings, followed by the remaining organic listings. So with local SEO, you want to be ranked in the maps listings first and foremost, in my opinion. And part of the reason why I say that is because if you do a search on a mobile device, generally you're going to see ads, and then you'll see the maps immediately following the ads, or there might be one organic listing in between the ads and the maps. Whereas on a
That's a
desktop or a
very good
laptop,
point.
you might, yeah, and on a desktop or a laptop, you might see um, three organic listings or whatever. So it would make sense to want to be in the organic listings as well. But since 50% of all searches and more now come from mobile devices, it makes sense to want to be in the maps first and foremost. So that's one of the things that is interesting about maps or local SEO that's different than national SEO is that you're going to get the maps listings back, and you don't get that in national. And part of that, the other part of that is that local SEO, you can also use citations, which is unique to local. And what I mean by citations is the name, address, and phone number. It's a place where you can list your name, address, and phone number. Local business directories, national business directories, niche or industry-specific directories, all these places that you can list your name, address, phone number, and generally you get a link back to your website as well. And that's something that you have to have a physical location for that, national companies don't typically try to rank or try to get a lot of listings in, like Yelp, for example. Those are
Right.
some of the more common local business or business directories that we all know are Yelp, Yellow Pages, Angie's List, that sort of thing. So, the biggest difference really is, some of the things that you can do differently with local that you can't do for national or global SEO would be wanting to rank in maps, which is what I suggest anybody doing any kind of local optimization should strive for, is to be ranked in the maps.
So is that somehow, that in some ways that's a little bit easier than maybe a national ranking?
Well, it's different. It's similar, but it still has its own challenges. In a way, I guess I would say that it can be easier. Yes, it depends though. It really truly depends. Some industries are incredibly competitive, even on a local level. For example, attorneys. It's like cutthroat competition in local SEO for any type of attorney listings. Divorce attorney, personal injury attorneys, that kind of stuff. That's a very difficult niche to break into, even in the local space. So, in a word, yes, it's a bit easier with local because you'll see faster results than you would. In other words,
Right.
with a local SEO campaign, you can see results from the campaign generally sooner than you could if you were trying on a national scale.
How can semantic mastery help people do local SEO better?
Well, we provide training for all types of SEO, including social and local optimization. And, I got my start in local SEO, and so it's very near and dear to my heart. In fact, the bulk of my business is still in the local realm. So for that reason, I have to stay on top of what's working now, and what I think is going to be working, 6 months down the road, a year down the road. One of the things that we do is we train on how to blanket a SERP, or a search engine results page, with a client citation or a client's listings, which can be a number of things. It can be their website, it can be a YouTube video, a Hangout, citations from business directories, it can be Web 2.0s, it can be their social media profile, such as a Facebook page or a LinkedIn company page. All of these things that we can use to basically dominate for a client for their particular keyword in their area. And it's something that is very, very powerful indeed. And also with the new semantic web, there's a lot of stuff coming out, a lot of new techniques coming out on how to mark up content on a web page with semantic markup, such as schema.org. There's RDFA. There's all different kinds of semantic markup that you can use in ways that will give you an edge over your competition. And since it's so new, so many companies, they're going to be playing catch up for the next couple of years. So if you get into our training, where we cover all of this inside our members training area, you're going to have a significant edge and a jump start on your competition.
That is a really good point. I think having the edge over the competition is really the key there. So if people want to find out more, what do they need to do?
Well, they can go to our site, semanticmastery.com, opt in to be notified of additional broadcasts that we're doing leading up to our launch. We hope to be launching in about a month from now. No hard dates. I'm not giving out hard dates yet, but we're really looking to launch in about a month from now. We have some really good case studies already that we've produced, and we've got some that are still in development that should be ready by launch date. So we'll have some initial content, plus we're going to be doing our bi-weekly group coaching calls. So we've got just a lot of stuff in store that we've been preparing for. We're really looking forward to this launch, and we would like to bring on as many people as are interested. So go to our site, semanticmastery.com, and you can opt in there.
Thank you so much, Bradley. Brilliant as always.
We'll see you
Talk to you next week.
Thanks.
See you.